What's up, y'all? Nate here. Just finishing up on the trail today. A little over 3 miles. Not too bad, but the humidity and the sun teamed up to kick my ass. And speaking of getting your ass kicked, I wanted to talk today about excuses. Excuses really can team up on us and kick our ass. No doubt about that. I've been thinking about this, and a story keeps popping in my head, so I'm going to talk to you about it. It's about my man Jesus again. And he was going to the pool. And this pool was a special pool in the temple area in Jerusalem back in his day. And what people would do, all the sick folks that wanted to get healed would go to this pool, and they'd sit out at the pool, and there was a time that the water would get disturbed in the pool. They said angels were stirring the water. Anyways, whoever jumped in the pool first got healed. I guess if you were second, you're just shit out of luck. So anyway, Jesus goes to this place, and he sees a guy, and that guy had been there for 38 years. He'd been sick for 38 years. And so he goes up to this guy, and we don't know his name. I'm just going to call him Bruce. So he goes up to Bruce and he says, "Bruce, do you want to get healed?" And Bruce looks at him like, "What are you talking about? Of course I want to get healed. But here's the deal. Every time when the water gets disturbed and there's a chance for me to get healed, somebody else beats me into the water." So he doesn't have anybody to help him get in the water. We don't even know what is wrong with Bruce, but whatever it is, he's had it for 38 years. Well, Jesus looks at him, he's like, "Dude, just get your mat and get up and walk out of here. Get out of here." And at that moment, the dude is healed of whatever it is. We don't know. All right, so the dude gets up and he leaves, and he runs into some of his religious buddies. Like I said, they were at the temple, and his religious buddies are amazed at him. Not because he's healed, and I don't even know if you can see what he's healed of, but they're amazed that he's carrying his mat. They're amazed that he's not following the rules, their rules. Just a side note here. Be wary of religious folks, especially professional religious folks. It's their game. You're just sitting in the chair and putting money in the plate. Okay? Just a side note. So anyway, they yell at the guy. He's like, "I don't know. This guy told me to do it, to get up and leave and carry my mat, so that's what I did." And they were just ticked off at him. So anyways, cut to about, I don't know, later that day maybe. The guy doesn't know who healed him. He just knows, he doesn't know his name. He doesn't know that it was Jesus. Anyway, Jesus goes and finds the guy in the temple, it says. And he says to him, he says, "Quit sinning. Quit doing wrong stuff, man, or something worse will happen to you." All right. And then the guy, instead of saying, "Oh, wow, I need to quit," and what was he doing? What was he sinning about? That's something that I've been thinking about, and I think he went back to begging in the temple like he'd always done. That was his livelihood. And so he just went back, even though he was healed. Now it was illegal for him to beg, but he was going to do it anyway, and he was enjoying that money. So I think that's what it was. He just slipped back into his old pattern just right off the bat. So anyway, that guy, instead of doing right, went and told the religious leaders who healed him and who told him to take up his mat. And that caused a shit ton of hurt for Jesus, no doubt. That was eventually what led to him getting killed. So anyway, excuses. This dude had been hurting for 38 years, and his excuse was, "I couldn't get in the pool." I'm like, if you were that hurting, wouldn't you sit on the edge of the pool? And as soon as that thing hit, just roll off in there? I don't know. But excuses are like that. We can make all the excuses in the world. They can be good excuses or bad excuses, lame excuses, or whatever. But you know what? excuses will keep us bound up when we could be walking in health and healing and freedom. And so I'm going to challenge you today. When those excuses crop up, just chop them off at the knees. Just be ready to roll off into that water when you feel like that water is stirring. When you feel like your healing is right there at hand, I want to encourage you to just go for it. And I think what you'll find out is that you are ready to break through to a new place in your life, in your fitness, in your health, in your job, whatever it may be. There is a better place for you, and it's just waiting if you'll get out of that pattern of letting excuses rule over you. All right, hey man, y'all have a great week, and I will talk at you later.